I promise you, nobody knows how to play with the press and the media the way our current president does. This is the funniest thing. Oh my goodness. It's being brought to us by NBC News. Trump says progressive congresswomen should go back to countries they originally came from. Trump seemed to be referencing Reps Rashida Tlaib of Michigan, Ilhan Omar, a Somali refugee and U.S. citizen from Minnesota, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York, and Ayanna Pressley of Massachusetts. That's three for the hard way right there. With Cortez, Presley, and Tlaib. That's those three. This is written by Alan Smith. Oh man, when I first saw this, it said they need to go back to where they came from, and my first thought was the kitchen or the bar in Ocasio-Cortez's case, but no, he literally said countries. This is amazing. President Donald Trump on Sunday said progressive congresswomen should go back and try to fix the crime-infested places where they came from before telling the U.S. government how to handle its problems. So interesting to see the progressive Democrat congresswomen who originally came from countries whose governments are a complete and total catastrophe, the worst, most corrupt and inept anywhere in the world, if they even have a functioning government at all, now loudly and viciously telling the people of the United States, the greatest and most powerful nation on earth, how our government is to be run, Trump wrote in a series of 3 tweets. Why don't they go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came? The president continued. Then come back and show us how it's done. These places need your help badly. You can't leave fast enough. I'm sure that Nancy Pelosi would be very happy to quickly work out free travel arrangements. Though he did not mention anyone by name in his tweets, the president appeared to reference a group of progressive congresswomen who have generated headlines and recently whose influence was downplayed by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. That group includes Democratic Reps Rashida Tlaib of Michigan, Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York, and Ayanna Pressley of Massachusetts. Tlaib, a Palestinian American, was born in Michigan, but where her parents come from. Omar, a Somali refugee who's clearly from Somalia, moved to the U.S. when she was 12 and is a naturalized U.S. citizen. But still, this isn't the country she hails from. Ocasio-Cortez, who is of Latin American descent, they always say Latin American, but they never say like where, I guess, her ethnicity or her family's from, was born in New York. And Presley, who is African American, are we sure about that? I mean, check the rings. Check the rings on the tree. Was born in Cincinnati. Pelosi on Sunday blasted Trump's screed, saying that when the president tells 4 American congresswomen to go back to their countries, he reaffirms his plan to make America great again has always been about making America white again. Our diversity is our strength and our unity is our power, the California Democrat said. Trump's tweets were swiftly condemned by other congressional Democrats as well, who called them racist and bigoted. I don't see that. I don't see racism in here. I see annoyance with a very specific group of individuals, one of whom is certified not born in the country, and the terrible, terrible policies that they're trying to enact. Okay, that new Green Deal is bunk. All right. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the environment. It has everything to do with, changing the country into a socialist country, something that most Americans do not want. And they got their positions. Like Temple likes to say that Cortez, but the primarying process, the Cortez, it was an exploit. I don't believe it was an exploit, and this is a big part of the party's problems is that, you have all these years of people moving, people leaving, districts just being very, I guess, transient or mobile. I guess there's a lot of mobility. So they've put long-term, long-serving Congress people are actually more vulnerable than ever because of their own hubris in getting their positions and the political monopolies that we have all throughout this country. So yeah, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, these ladies need to go back to their countries or anything else like that. But do I believe that they should be in Congress? Hell no. Nope. Like, not at all. Primarily because of the rhetoric and their overarching agenda, which is to destroy this country and to turn into a socialist hellhole. Something that I do not agree with by any stretch of the imagination. A racist tweet from a racist president tweeted, Rep. Ben Ray Lawan of New Mexico, a member of House Democratic leadership. Rep. Don Bayer of Virginia said in a Twitter's post, this is undisguised racism, misogyny, and xenophobia, and everyone in Congress, regardless of party, should condemn it. Rep. Joe Nice of Colorado said Trump was spending his Sunday morning sending bigoted tweets. Fact check. 3 of the 4 colleagues of mine he's targeting were born in the U.S., and those of us serving in Congress who immigrated here are children of immigrants like myself are American. He tweeted, period. A week-long feud involving the progressive congresswoman and Democratic leadership might have played a role in Trump's tweets. Referencing the 4 women, Pelosi said in a Marine Doubt op-ed published by the New York Times last week, all these people have their public whatever in their Twitter world, but they didn't have any following. They got 4 people, and that's how many votes they got. In response, Ocasio-Cortez said in an interview that she and her fellow progressives were being singled out by Pelosi as newly elected women of color, saying it got to a point where it was just outright disrespectful. Trump jumped into the fray himself last week, defending Pelosi and saying Ocasio-Cortez is the one who's being disrespectful. A group of people that came from, I don't know where they come from. I'm looking at this Omar from Minnesota, he added. And if one half of the things they're saying about her are true, she shouldn't even be in office. Senator Bernie Sanders, a Vermont independent running for the Democratic presidential nomination, said Sunday on NBC's Meet the Press that he thought Pelosi was being a little too tough on the freshman lawmakers. Of course he is, because he's a socialist, and they are trying to bring in socialism. You cannot ignore the young people of this country who are passionate about economic and racial and social and environmental justice. You've got to bring them in, not alienate them, Sanders said. But that is amazing. So that's the end of the article. But that is amazing because he knows what he's doing. Trump knows exactly what he's doing. I mean, seeing how the raids are popping up right now, and he's trying to just like move attention. So yeah, he'll say something like that, like, yeah, go back to the countries you came from. three or 4 of them are born American citizens without question, but he left it so vague that they can do absolutely nothing but speculate, and that's really the masterful part of this, because I believe that he's trying to get reelected first and foremost, but secondly, he really wants to keep people distracted and moving in 1,000,003 directions. He knows at this point that it ain't a thing. He gonna get reelected after everything that's taken place. He knows he's gonna get reelected. So now he's on some. Yeah, let's keep him flustered. Let's keep him fluttering around. Because if you think that a Trump supporter, I guess such as myself, is really tripping about this, no, not at all. These ladies have come in and they've been nothing but a distraction, to be 100% honest with you. Even though Ocasio-Cortez and Presley, they're not unattractive. Ayanna Presley's not unattractive, but at the same time. Well, that one a little more so, but at the same time, yeah, this isn't their agendas that they're pushing out. It's trash. I'm sorry, they are puppets. They are there to work for Chakrabarti and the Justice Dems, and honestly, they have no clue as to what they're doing. Ocasio-Cortez herself was saying how she didn't know the 3 branches of government, like when she initially went in. I'm sure she's up to speed now, but that leaves a bit of an impression, And Presley, as far as African American, I don't know. I really don't know. She could be any kind of American as far as I'm concerned. She could be Jamaican American. But the deal is that she herself is pushing these terrible policies and these terrible ideas. And you know what? I'm not a fan. So as far as go back to your country outside of Omar, no, come on, man. They're Americans, but should they be in office? I don't believe so. I really don't. I see them as just convenient puppets for the next person. And now they're going after, and I did a video on this, they're going after the CBC, Congressional Black Caucus seats. Part of me is like, yeah, this is great. Go get them, because they all suck. They haven't done a damn thing for descendants. They don't care. At the same time, I know they're going to replace them with their own special jackasses, which only you know, can only make things worse. That's it. They're not here to be productive. They're here to be disruptive. And you know what? I'm alright. Like, I'm good. I have absolutely no problem with what he said. And I understand why he said it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. That's it for this video. If you liked it, toss it a like, sub. If you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring, as well as YouTube's definitely not going to do it. And speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments? Do you think this is racist and bigoted and all this other, and all the other words that they've been? I mean, if he is all these things, then guess what? Then why are you acting surprised now? Don't act shocked now if you really believe he's all these things. Me personally, I think that the president sees the problem in these young ladies and what they represent and the destruction that their policies represent. But he's going to have a little bit of fun with the media as well, because I mean, they've been calling him racist and bigoted and sexist and xenophobic and all these other words all this time. So boom, why not just play into it, you know? I am whatever you say I am. And if I wasn't, then why would I say I am? Let me know what you think in the comments. Until the next video.